Well, hello everybody. Standing in front of my rabbits, but in the greenhouse. New project. I can't seem to finish one completely without having to start a new one. As you can see here, my wife went nuts. She went to a flea market and she bought a bunch of plants. She got blueberries and muscadine grapes and all kinds of trees, and she thinks that it's just, oh well, let's just throw them in the ground just anywhere and don't worry about pH and prepping soil, and oh yeah, I'll plant them. I'm like, okay. So anyway, what I've done is I've measured out, I did my YouTube research, and so I'm building a trellis for the blueberries and the muscadines. The muscadines, they need a really acidic pH, like 4.5 to 5.2. Or I'm sorry, the blueberries need that. And the muscadines, yeah, they're okay at something normal, but they require different fertilization and all kinds of different things. So anyway, I'm gonna try and hack together a trellis out here. This seems to be a good spot where it's gonna get lots of sun, because I'm not really all that concerned about that fig tree I planted that keeps dying every winter. So, all right, here we go. A new project.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper.
Really? Really? If it's not one thing, it's another, and if you don't smile, you'll get older quicker, that's for sure. So, all right, take this into the shop, get it fixed. I'll be back in a little bit. This happened to me yesterday also. I was halfway through doing some topiaries. Here's a still shot of them before and after. And I was just in the midst of working on it, and my little edger trimmer thing, the prong broke off, so I had to find an extension cord, cut it off, solder it together, and one thing led to another, and I was able to finish the job. But this is 2 days in a row now equipment's broken on me, so it's a wonder I'm still smiling, truthfully. All right, here we go. Taking it apart here. Onward and sideways. Okay, folks. My cheery attitude has gone to shit. I have been monkeying with this spring assembly for about an hour. It's an off-brand, so nobody, I don't know, I'll go online and see if I can't find a whole new assembly for this guy. I have tried rewinding it on here, I've tried rewinding it on here. Each one of them has a little notch to put the end of the spring in, and you can't, it's inside there, so you can't get that one in if it's wound on here, and if it's wound on here, you can't get to this one to put it. So I'm screwed. Might have to resort to the old post hole digger, but I really hate to do that in all this clay. It's a blistering effect. So let me go online, see if I can't find some, this looks like a Chinese knockoff, so I'll see what I can do. All right, I found one on eBay. Here we go, 20 bucks. Wonder how long it's gonna take to get here. About 2 feet down, I found a bullet. So luckily it's been raining here, and I got about 6 inches of good topsoil here, and the rest was clay. So I think that's deep enough to hold a post for this little project. Anyway, okay, enough for now. I'll keep digging and won't bother videotaping these holes. Damn, I'm gonna be sore after this too. Well, this was part of an old giant planter box that I built years ago. I think it was a planter box, but anyway, it was rotting away and had these giant spikes in it. They're all bent. Somebody tore it apart next door. So I'll grind these spikes off of it, or drive them out if I can, if they're straight. And these will be the trellis parts. Okay, just took a grinder. I cut off wheeled all the spikes that were in these things. They're half of them, most of them were bent. So now to go continue digging. And I got my, I think it's number 12.5 wire. Yeah, 12.5 wire, 10 pounds. It was 15 bucks or something, but the turnbuckles were the expensive part. So far I got about 50 bucks into her budget plants. I wanted to make sure that my wife got to enjoy the fun of doing this as well. She enjoys gardening, so I figured I'd introduce her to a post hole digger. What do you think of post hole digging?
That's good.
It's fun, huh? It's good exercise, huh?
Wake me up.
Wakes you up, yeah. Just another 6 inches or so and you'll have that hole. And then on to the next one. And then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Alright, I've reinforced this one off to the greenhouse. I didn't have any pressure treated lumber, so I'm sure eventually I'll have to replace this wood. But for right now, just getting it in, I already had the regular stuff. So I got this post planted just in the clay. There's no concrete or rock or anything in it. But what I'm going to have to do is run a brace down, because I'm going to be pulling with turnbuckles from here to there with wire. Well, it rained a bit yesterday, so right now what I'm doing is I'm setting the middle posts here. Put a little bit of clay in there and then just tamp it down around the post, and then repeat the process till it's full, and then I use the hammer to mash it down from the top as hard as I can. And so there you have it. Just one more post to go, then I'll do the T's on these things. Onward. Okay. The posts are in. Now to go cut some T's for the tops of these. Well, I managed to find 3 4x4s, some cutoffs, and so I've cut them to 3 feet. Now I'm going to dig through my old templates here and see if I can't locate a corbel design for a 4x4. Oh, there's my corbel box there. These are all my templates. Let's see. Oh boy. There we go. Don't know. That one might be a kitchen one. Come on. There's a 2x4 one. Okay. All right, I've got them all laid out, and now to cut. Okay, it's a new day, and so my attitude's better, but guess what? Last cut, and I broke a bandsaw blade, and I don't have another one. I've already used my spares. Jigsaw? I guess jigsaw. I'll give it a try. I might have to cut it from both sides. I don't know. All right. Well, the longest blade I had only cut 3/4 of the way through it, and I smoked my way through that cut. But Anyway, all right, they're done. Now, next step, drilling holes. Well, I've been trying to do this on the cheap. I had hardware, but I did have to buy some turnbuckles, and I just twisted the wire. I didn't use any fancy, you know, equipment. But I put a dead man in here. I kind of was worried about it. I ran some of the wire through one of these stake holes. I drove like 3 feet into the ground right here, and the wire didn't hold, it snapped. And there's no way to get it out, it's buried 3 feet in the ground. So I'll have to probably weld on some chain on the end of this one here, and then drive it in the ground, and then I can use wire if it breaks again, and I can replace it. Okay, so in order to weld, I need to change out some plugs on the welder. Need to change this plug out for one of these plugs so I can plug it in here at the house. Nothing is simple. All right, my second attempt at this chain dead man. Actually, this is the third attempt. The first one, I used the little hole in the side of the bar, and of course a little tension on that line, and it popped at too radical of an angle and all that. So I thought, well, I'll use some chain. So I tried to put the welder together. I'm out of gas, so I'm welding with no gas. So it's not really all that great a weld. So I found some chain. I thought, well, let me just weld a chunk of this chain on there. They're not welded off. Man. So I buried another stake, another steel stake, and put a little bit of tension on it, and the links came right apart and they just popped. So trying to do this on the cheap is getting expensive. So I had some old chain and a hook on it, and so I welded the best I could with no gas. Kind of sucks, but this chain won't break, so I'm confident now. I'll just grind this off and pound it in the ground. Stake 3. Whew. Okay, here goes try number 3. All right, success. I have decent chain on my dead man. Got some wire. Did a little twisty thing to really tension it up, and they're pretty tight. I was just getting ready to turn the ends of my wire to safety them, and just at the other end getting ready to do it, and walked right into one. So I'm thinking I'm bleeding a little bit because it stings. It's sweaty, and but anyway, so this isn't perfect, but it's done. This side, I put in for the lower rail, or the lower wire, 45 inches from the top one, and that's just going to be to stabilize the plant, the grapevine as it's growing. I could probably do away with it, but I have the stuff, so I'm doing it. So I figure one plant here and one plant there, and I'll get them to grow up. I probably don't need that lower wire now that I think about it. I could just use this post, grow it up the post, and then I'll Y it off and run them 20 feet this way. Each side will have a 20-foot runner on it. It should work out okay. Alright, I think I got it. This is I'm going to leave the lower cables out until the plants are in. Actually, I may not even do any on this side. But here's the blueberry. It's going to be just a double. It's going to be a bottom one and a top one. And I got the dead man in on that one. And they're all tensioned. And so I think this project is finished for right now. I still need to probably make some planter boxes to put the plants in. I still have to dig in the soil, but I thought about putting an open bottom planter box on there because this is all clay and it doesn't drain for shit. Anyway, I guess we'll show you when something's growing out here. But for right now, it actually, when we get back to this video, it's going to be a garden update. So enough of the building of the grape and blueberry trellis, muscadine grape. So as usual, thanks for watching. Man, it was kind of a hot one and I'm tired. Subscribe, like, share it. I'm trying to get some more subscribers, so pass this stuff around. You know, Daddy needs new tools. Yeah, look, YouTube doesn't pay much, but it pays something. You know, those little ads down at the bottom, those little things you X out of, those pay. It's just a very small percentage of a penny per view. But, you know, when you have hundreds of thousands of views, it adds up. So anyway, I appreciate you viewing, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.